Hi everyone, welcome back to the Epiphany Shelf. Today I bring you a book that not just leaves an impression, but it leaves a fire burning in my mind. So I recently finished The Palace of Illusions by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. And before we deep dive into the story, I have to say this: what a masterpiece. So Banerjee doesn't just retells the Mahabharata, she reimagines it through the eyes of a woman at the heart of it all, Draupadi. Now, if you have grown up hearing Mahabharata, you must have heard that Draupadi was the reason for the great war that happened. But this book flips the narrative. It makes you feel her truth. It makes you realize that she was not the reason for the destruction. She was the spark behind the transformation, a force behind the revolution. So the book starts with the birth of Draupadi from fire. Yes, fire, not a metaphor. She was born with a prophecy, dark skin, and already misunderstood. In a world where fair skin equaled beauty and beauty equaled worth, Panchali, yet another name for Draupadi, was already struggling for her identity. She wanted to be a warrior, a leader, but her father had another plans. He wanted her to learn domestic skills, to be in a political marriage, and be silent. But she was never meant to be silent. One of the most powerful scenes that comes early in the book is when Draupadi visits a sage, curious about her future, and the sage tells her, "You'll change history, but your path will be paved with sorrow. You will be the reason for widows, orphans, and endless destruction." Imagine hearing that your purpose is to bring about pain. How do you live with that? So she turns to Krishna, her confidant, her best friend, and asks him, "Why must my destiny be filled with blood?" And Krishna, in his typical way, never answers the question directly. But if you're reading carefully, you will be able to find the hidden wisdom between the lines. He never answers directly, he always guides. And then comes that moment, the infamous dice game. Panchali is gambled away by her husbands, all five of them. And you must think that you have seen this scene on TV shows and movies, but Banerjee's retelling, it's on another level. Her humiliation was raw and visceral. She pleaded with the elder members of the court, Bhishma, Dronacharya, Dhritarashtra. She tried to question the legality and the morality on how come someone who has lost everything can gamble her away. She looked for her husbands, for logic, for them, and still no one stands for her. And among the silent faces is one more, Karn. So Banerjee gives us this glimpse of Draupadi's hidden and complex feelings towards Karn, feelings that were never spoken and never fully understood by Draupadi herself. And at that moment of rage, Karn becomes one more wound on a long list of betrayal. It's subtle, it's painful, and it stays with you. And finally, when every voice fails, she calls out, "Govind." And Krishna doesn't come with an army, he comes with a presence. In that moment of utter despair, she finds herself not in the cursed Sabha, but in a beautiful forest where Krishna plays his flutes. "Why are you ashamed, Panchali?" he asks. "You're born with fire. Have you forgotten?" And just like that, her shame melts into resolve. When she returns, her dignity remains untouched. The cloth never ends. And the men exhausted themselves trying to humiliate her, but failed. And she makes a vow: "There will be blood, and my hair will be undone until I wash it with the blood of people who watched this happen." And that, my friend, is just 2% of the book. Every page crackles with power. Chitra Banerjee doesn't just tells the story of Draupadi. She gives her a voice, a rage, a vulnerability that's been missing for centuries. You will weep with Panchali, you will burn with her, and at the end, you will realize that she was never a curse, she was a revolution. If you have ever questioned the roles women play in mythology, read this. If you have ever felt powerless, read this. Or if you just like good storytelling, read this. My verdict, it's a must read, must experience, and must feel. Don't forget to like, share, and drop your thoughts in the comment section if you have read this or you're planning to read it. If you want more book recommendation, hit that subscribe button and join the Epiphany fam. Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and stay curious.